Pentagon's gloves are off. Recent footage reveals a lethal precision strike unfolding right now. Witness the aerial duo, Army Apaches and Navy Seahawks. These hunters just intercepted a coordinated assault, sending 6 Iranian combat skiffs to the seabed. They weren't just loitering. CENTCOM confirms these raiders were hunting global merchant ships. The American retaliation was surgical and instantaneous. Heavy metal arrived, locked on, and neutralized the threat before the first shot could land. But the stakes just skyrocketed. High-level sources confirm Tehran isn't backing down. They've shifted fire. Their targets? American destroyers. It's a swarm of suicide drones and cruise missiles. The Gulf is officially a powder keg. This clash erupted just as Washington debuted a fresh maritime shield, dubbed Project Freedom, designed to keep Hormuz's vital trade lanes open. Yet a sudden pivot has shocked observers. The mission is idling on standby. Why? The Biden administration is dangling a diplomatic olive branch, hoping to lure Tehran to the table. Meanwhile, CENTCOM isn't taking any chances. They've spent months reinforcing a massive defensive wall specifically tailored to crush these hit-and-run tactics that bleed the global economy. This isn't a simple patrol, it's a terrifyingly deep bench of American firepower. We are seeing a symphony of steel, Warthogs, Eagles, Falcons, and Hornets are joined by the elite F-35. But it goes deeper than kinetic strikes. Growlers are melting enemy sensors while rivet joint planes sniff out every radio pulse. Backed by a relentless fleet of tankers, these birds pull back for a moment. We need to dissect the actual machinery of this kill, because the choice of hardware tells the real story. This wasn't a job for scouts, it was a mission for the AH-64 Apache and the MH-60 Seahawk. These aren't mere transport birds, they are apex predators forged for high-intensity violence. The Army's Apache is effectively a flying fortress of steel. It's built to soak up punishment while dealing out absolute devastation. Look at the chin. That 30mm chain gun is a meat grinder, spitting lead at a rate that turns composite hulls into confetti in heartbeats. But that's only the appetizer. It also brings the hellfire to the party, laser-guided death that tracks a target's every twitch. When you're chasing erratic, high-speed skiffs, you need that surgical lethality. One trigger pull, one lock on, and the threat simply ceases to exist. Switch gears to the Seahawk, the Navy's versatile Swiss Army knife of the skies. Launched straight from the decks of destroyers, this bird skims the waves, hunting for trouble before it even reaches the fleet. It's a lethal mix of heavy machine guns and rapid-fire rockets, tailored for the chaos of naval combat. But the real magic is the synergy. You have the Apache delivering raw, unadulterated muscle, while the Seahawk provides the eyes and the agility of a local guardian. It's a tag team that cuts response windows down to nothing. By the time those Iranian skiffs hit the gas, banking on their small size and speed to evade detection, they were already dead in the water. They weren't just racing against distant hulls, they were trapped in a vertical kill zone. Once these rotors tilt toward a target, the clock hits zero. There is no escape, and there is no second chance. But remember, those rotors are merely the first layer of a massive steel trap. Should these raiders press their luck or the conflict surge, American destroyers are ready to speak. Arleigh Burke-class giants aren't just floating monitors, they are specialized killers for this exact chaos. At a sprint, their 5-inch deck guns become precision sledgehammers guided by high-tech sensors to obliterate nimble targets with rapid-fire volleys. Yet, a deadlier guardian waits in the shadows, the phalanx. This automated, radar-driven beast is a literal wall of lead, shredding anything that gets too close in a heartbeat. While famously known as a final shield against missiles, it turns small boats into scrap metal instantly. And if the swarm persists, Guided munitions are waiting in the tubes, ready to pluck individual skiffs off the water with terrifying accuracy. Picture the nightmare, fast boats charging in, only to find Apaches raining hell from the clouds while destroyers lock on from the horizon. There is nowhere to hide. Once you're on the scope, you aren't fighting a single ship. You are fighting a hive mind of synchronized destruction. Then comes the wild card that catches everyone off guard, the legendary Warthog. The A-10 Thunderbolt II stands as a vintage titan in the Pentagon's modern arsenal. Debuting in the 70s, its original purpose wasn't hunting at sea, it was a Soviet tank's worst nightmare on European plains. However, this relic has found a terrifying second life shredding maritime raiders. The entire airframe is essentially a holster for the Avenger, a monstrous 30mm rotary cannon that rains explosive fire at a blistering pace. For a fragile, fast boat, it is pure, unadulterated carnage. While sleek fighters zip by, the A-10 thrives in the low and slow zone. It lingers, stalking the waves for hours, patiently waiting to unleash its signature burst. Reports confirm these beasts are currently prowling the region, acting as a heavy fist for Project Freedom. When you pair this brute force with the speed of F-15s, the versatility of Hornets, and a web of intelligence planes, the strategy becomes clear. This isn't just a response. This is total dominance over the sky, the surf, and every inch of the horizon. Despite the overwhelming might of the American arsenal, these mosquito-sized vessels remain a lethal gamble. Their strength isn't in armor, it's in the swarm. By attacking in a frantic, multi-directional blur, they aim to saturate a warship's sensors and overwhelm its defenses. In that split-second chaos, the margin for error vanishes. Here is the chilling reality: the defense has to be perfect, but the attackers only need to be lucky once. A single skiff reaching its mark could cripple an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, turning a billion-dollar asset into a casualty. Sinking 6 raiders is a tactical win, sure, but it's just a snapshot of a grueling marathon. It's a relentless game of whack-a-mole where the stakes are absolute. Can the U.S. maintain a perfect record forever? That is the looming shadow. Furthermore, what is the endgame? This initiative, forged under the Trump administration, seeks more than just retaliation. It's a bid to stabilize the planet's most vital maritime artery. Can it truly secure long-term flow? Or does every explosion and every downed hull simply fuel a larger, more dangerous fire?